It is 1 year since the signing of a pact that brought to an end conflict over resources between the Karamajong community in Uganda and the Pokot and Turkana communities in Kenya. The peace deal was signed in Moroto, Uganda on 12 September 2019 by Kenya's Cabinet Secretary for Devolution and Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, Eugene Wamalwa, and Uganda's Minister for Karamajong Affairs, John Byabagambi. The ceremony was witnessed by President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya and his Ugandan counterpart Yoweri Museveni.
Ile msingi ya mambo yale mawili, amani, maji, mnaona yameanza kuleta matunda.
Ni program ambayo itatusaidia sisi wote kuhakikisha ya kwamba tuko na amani, wananchi wetu wanaishi pamoja, na pia kutuwezesha kufanya maendeleo.
In an interview with Chams Media on the eve of the anniversary, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa highlighted the milestones of the pact 1 year on.
We have been able to attend Tobongulare in Turkana, and when you see these communities come together, it is so beautiful in terms of the similarities in culture and the joy it brings to the communities. When we put aside cattle rustling, we put aside the issue of infiltration of small arms and conflict, then you find that we are one people, separated by artificial borders, and we want to see how we can use culture as a tool of integration. And Tobongulare is one of those. We have also been able to go to Loyangalani festivals. And when you see our brothers and sisters from Ethiopia mix with our brothers and sisters from Marsabit, you cannot tell them apart because they are one people.
The process that was midwifed by the United Nations saw the previously two warring communities give up their arms and instead work on joint activities that would ensure sustainable peace in the decades to come.
The UN facilitated it. Finally, it was up to the governments to make that decision. But it was a real partnership. It was not about one or the other. It was a real partnership. It was a process of dialogue. And the UN is seen as a neutral partner. In fact, in Kenya, I'm proud to say that we have a very strong partnership with the government and with the people of Kenya.
Former MP for Kacheliba, Samuel Poghisio, who is now the Senator of West Pokot and the leader of majority in Kenya's Senate, also reflects on the benefits of the deal.
Children have been able to go to school because they don't have to move around so much. And so the enrollment in school was getting up, except for this COVID period, was very high. So we are looking at people beginning to do businesses across the borders. Instead of cattle rustling now, you actually do businesses, trade in cattle with each other, and you can buy and sell. And that has improved the economy of the area. And now people are beginning to see the benefit of peace, the dividend of peace, vis-a-vis the disturbances that we used to have.
And former Turkana North MP John Munyes, who is now Kenya's Cabinet Secretary for Petroleum and Mining, says the peace accord has opened up infrastructure in the region.
The Moroto Road, Moroto-Lodo Road, the Kotido-Kakuma Road, and many other smaller roads have been opened that have now opened trade and commerce in the region. There are so many trucks moving into Kenya from Moroto, Uganda to Kenya, to bring supplies, to bring food. People are now engaging in businesses. Trade has increased, and people moving into Uganda to buy spare parts for their vehicles, to buy food, to set up shops. Sugar in Uganda is cheap. People are moving and getting things they cannot easily get in Kenya.
The United Nations Development Program has played a key role in putting in place interventions that give life to the Memorandum of Understanding.
Both on the Kenya side as well as on the Uganda side, UNDP has actually invested about $1 million of its own resources for each of the countries to actually implement some of these catalytic interventions that give life to this MOU, so that we ensure that what has been a political framework can very quickly translate into meaningful activities on the ground. We have actually supported interventions that have eliminated the illegal flow of small arms and light weapons in the border areas by strengthening the peace actors' capacities by providing them with motorbikes and patrol vehicles, particularly on the Uganda side, to be able to better monitor the border areas. We've recovered stolen livestock, which have also paid dividends in building trust between the communities and in the border areas.
And there is much more to expect, according to Principal Secretary, State Department for Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, Mika Powon.
Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta directed that we put some money for the development of big dams. Each dam will be costing Kenya shillings 250 million, and we are going to do 3 of them. We have one in Turkana, another one in West Pokot, another one in Marsabit. So I'm happy to report that these dams are on course, and we have already started the construction of these dams, and we are hopeful in Marsabit by the end of before the end of this year we will have already completed the construction of the Peace Dam in Marsabit. Also the Peace Dam in West Pokot and Turkana, by the end of this year we will have already completed.
Indeed, with peace, so much development can be achieved, with leaders from both Kenya and Uganda and development partners as well advocating for the replication of this model in other parts of the continent. For Chams Media, I'm Alex Chamwada.